To understand the concept of autoregressive models, let me go to the whiteboard and actually try to write down a couple of things. Yeah, so autoregressive models, right? They are also called as ARMs now, but that's just a fancy way to understand a very simple concept. Yeah. So the way language models work is as follows. They are trained for something which is called as a next token prediction task. So it's called as next oops next token prediction task, right? What it means is that when a language model is trained, they are always trained to predict one token at a time. So during inference time also, if you ask the question like once upon a time, let's say if I ask or if I give a prompt that once upon a time and I want the language model to complete this prompt, what it will do is that it will not generate many tokens at once from all directions. It will generate one token after this, it will generate one token after this, it will generate the next token, it will generate the next token, right? So it's one token at a time. And this is the main concept behind what is called as an auto-regressive model. And also during the next token prediction task also, what happens is that you first have, let's say, one word or one token. Let's say this is predicted, then this is again appended to the input sequence, then the next token is predicted, then these two are appended to the input sequence, then the next token is predicted. This is during the training. During inference also one new token is predicted at a time, but during training also, when we are training for the next token prediction, after a new token is predicted, it is appended to the earlier sequence, then a next token is predicted. We learn about this whole process in a lot of detail when we actually look at the architecture behind how a language model is built. But for now, just understand that when you look at sentences or when you look at text being generated here, so let me again ask this. When you look at text being generated here, it's through an auto-regressive model which predicts one token at a time. So although you will see multiple tokens here, it's one token being generated at a time. And the next token which is generated depends on the previous token. So see this, it's one token at a time and the next token generates on the depends on the previous token. So mathematically this is expressed like this, which just means that the future token depends on the previous tokens. That's it. What these authors essentially mentioned is that there are two things, right? First is what we discussed about generative AI through a probabilistic lens, finding the probability distribution, and second is the autoregressive method. What they mentioned is that the autoregressive method does not make language models who they are. It's just an approach which we have chosen. Why is it the default approach? It's just one thing which works. But why can't diffusion be the default option? This is what Andre Karpathy also mentions here, right? Only text use auto regression. Why only text should use this auto regression? Why can't we use diffusion models with text generation? That is the main thing which these authors asked. Also one more fallacy of auto regressive models which the authors mentioned is that um, auto regressive models actually have drawbacks. First is that they have slow inference. Why do they have slow inference? Because they are predicting one token at a time, not a stream of tokens at once, like how diffusion models can do. If you look at the left hand side, that's auto regressive, it predicts one token at a time. So if you see, to generate the same amount of text, the right hand side, which is diffusion model, takes 14 iterations, while an auto regressive model takes 75 iterations, which is way higher. So diffusion is far faster for inference. That's one drawback they mentioned of autoregressive models. The second drawback which they mentioned is they cannot handle reversal reasoning tasks. What it means is that if my prompt is, let's say, who is Daphne Sterling, the model output is Daphne Sterling is the director of 2008 film The Silent Orchard. But if I ask the model who directed the film The Silent Orchard, the model may hallucinate. This reverse reasoning, right? The model can go from Daphne Sterling to The Silent Orchard. It's fine because it's one new token generated at a time. But this reverse reasoning becomes very difficult for the model. From this film, it finds it difficult to guess who directed this. Again, who is Tom Cruise's mother? It's Mary Lee. That's fine. But who is Mary Lee's son? The model finds it difficult to answer because it's reversal reasoning. Why does autoregressive models fail at reversal reasoning or they cannot handle reversal reasoning? Because they only predict one new token into the future. So it's going in a forward way always. It's not bidirectional. So these are drawbacks, right, of autoregressive models. So these authors propose that can we try some other approach? Can we try this probabilistic approach with diffusion models? So essentially, what they mentioned is that if the true language distribution lies somewhere here, can we find the model? Can we make a diffusion based language model which tries to approximate this true language distribution as close as possible? This is very similar to the purple and the red probability distributions which we saw for images. If all of you remember this is the purple and the red images which we saw for image distribution. What if we do something similar for text? Let's say this is the underlying true textual uh, true probability distribution of meaningful text. Why can't we train a diffusion model on text so that it follows this exactly? That's the question which these authors essentially asked. So I've summarized it in the lecture notes over here. I've mentioned that what's the need of autoregressive models to achieve this, to make the probability distribution close to the true distribution. Autoregressive models also lead to the same output. Through them also we get a probability distribution close to the true distribution, but they are not the only method, right? Why can't we have some other methods which also achieve this? In particular, why can't we have diffusion methods? Can we try some other approach? So let's get into this right now. We are now starting our journey to build a small language diffusion model from scratch, and we are now going to get into the nuts and bolts of the architecture of language models. We are going to understand the architecture of autoregressive models, how the architecture of diffusion models differs from autoregressive models, and then we are going to code an entire diffusion language model from scratch. So let's get started.